Black baseball's ultimate pride. Games will be streamed live at www.mybcsn.net. Tickets are available now online at www.blackcollegechampionships.com.
Bounty versus the old family dish towel. Drying with a fresh sheet of Bounty leaves your hands cleaner than a used dish towel that can carry and redistribute food residue. So ditch the dish towel for better hand hygiene. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit. Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio.
That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company.
Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all 3 credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results.
Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds.
You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
Some carriers will give you just one measly entertainment subscription. One is no fun. With Verizon, there's up to 7 entertainment subscriptions with your unlimited plan. That's 7 times the... 7 times the... No! 7 times the... Music, gaming, Disney+, Hulu, ESPN+, and more. That's 7 times the entertainment! Because everyone deserves better. And with plans starting at just $35, better costs less than you think.
At Tyson, we know taste is local. Some like their beef pit smoked, their chicken spiced all the way up, or their pork sweet and saucy. Local flavors, global impact. That's what feeding the world is all about.
Now, you can live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Vanilla smoked sea salt seasoning is for seafood. The tarragon and fennel bring out the natural sweetness in seafood. I also use it in rice dishes, on yams, asparagus, blueberry pancakes, and believe it or not, chocolate chip cookies. Vanilla smoked sea salt adds a salty and savory component to sweet dishes that create a symphony for the tongue.
We are making the virtual HBCU experience available wherever you live through Stillman Online. We offer online degrees in business, criminal justice, psychology, and religion. Stillman also offers technology badges in cybersecurity and data analytics. You can participate in all student activities, fraternities and sororities, internships, graduation ceremonies, and much more. Apply for admission today at stillman.edu. Stillman College, where we prepare you for a different world.
The Cowboy Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cowboy.
Are you ready? It's time. The inaugural Urban Nerdcon is coming to Montgomery, Alabama, July 29th through the 31st. Blurs, nerds, and geeks from across the universe will converge on the capital city to see celebrity guests such as The Last Dragon, Tybok, Megan Tandy, and voice actor Dave Fennoy.
Hey, how you doing? I'm voice actor Dave Fennoy with a shout out to all my geeks, freaks, and urban nerds. Just want to let you know I'm going to be there and I want to meet you at the Urban Nerdcon Gaming and Cosplay event. It's happening July 29th through the 31st in Montgomery, Alabama. Hope you want to meet me as much as I want to meet you.
So join us by visiting theurbannerdcon.net for ticket and vendor information. This will be the premier Blurred event in the universe. Theurbannerdcon.net. Our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone's con. See you there.
Okay, hello, good evening. Welcome to another live edition of the O&G Strike Zone. I'm Brian Fulford. Those smiling rattlers, Kelvin Rozier, Kofi Hemingway. I think they're smiling because they didn't think I'd actually make it here in time for the start of the show, or either they're smiling at my loud green polo. I can't really tell which one they're smiling and laughing about. Fellas, how you guys doing?
What's going on, B? How you doing, man? Glad you could make it.
Yeah, thank you. And the beautiful thing about being on location is the delay sounds worse than ever, but hey, we'll just have to power through it. So it is what it is.
Where you at? That's what I want to know. Like, where are you? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, so I'm broadcasting live outdoors at Riverwalk Stadium here in Montgomery, Alabama, where the Tyson Foods Black College World Series is taking place, featuring 8 of the top teams in NAIA as well as NCAA Division II. And so we will crown a champion. I say we, but the organizers, Black College Championships .com, they will be crowning a champion here. This is actually the second year for the BCWS here in Montgomery. So already off to a good start. I was in the middle of calling a very exciting game earlier between, I'm trying to remember who was that, who was in that game I called. I don't even remember. Everything's a blur now. But anyway, I called game number 2 between Talladega and, come on, help me out, Mel. Talladega and, help me out. Come on. Florida Memorial, yes. See, Talladega and Florida Memorial. And then I was in the middle of calling Miles College and Bluefield State. So just finished with that. But I had to get out of there so I could come be here with you guys. So look at that,
Wow, dude.
Appreciate it,
well,
bro.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
feel privileged.
It's all love. It's all love. It's good to be
we
here.
Glad you came.
Yeah. And hey, thanks to, got to give a shout out to everybody that's been supporting and watching the O&G over the last few weeks. Record numbers and a lot of support out there. So we appreciate everybody who has been watching the show, whether it be on, obviously live on YouTube and Facebook, but if you caught the replays of the show, or if you've caught the show on podcast on the BCSN Pod Zone, wherever you've been catching the show, we appreciate it. I think we've been hitting home on some good topics and some good conversations, and I think that hopefully that's why people are tuning in. So just want to give a shout out and thanks to all of those folks, and just remind you, you can actually now donate and be a part of this experience that we are having here in these spaces. If you want to donate, it could be a cup of coffee, $5, $10, $18.87, whatever you want to donate. You can go, if you're on YouTube, go and check out in the description. You'll see the link to our feed, to our donation page there. You can drop a donation. Everything is appreciated. Also, for our folks on YouTube and Facebook, go ahead and go ahead and hit the like button, especially hit those likes on Twitter. You know that helps the algorithm grow. So yes, I am outside, and at any point in time, any random Rattler or HBCU fan could walk by and can show some love. So, gentlemen, what's been up with you, Calvin? How you feeling these days?
Man, I'm a little mixed bag right now, man. I'm a little concerned about some things happening in Rattler Nation. I'm a little concerned with some things that I think we're going to start off talking about in terms of Delaware State and Southern. Man, we got some serious things that we need to address within our communities. The greater HBCU and Black community, not just FAMU, and so hopefully it's therapeutic for me.
Yeah. Kofi, how are you feeling?
I'm like Kelvin. And words of the psalmist, I've had some good days. I've had some hills to climb. I've had some weary days and some sleepless nights. But every time I turn around, I think things over. All my days outweigh my bad days, and I won't complain until the next segment. So if you get me on the next segment, if they let me talk, I'm trying to tell you, I got a whole lot to say, a whole lot to say. So, yeah, I won't complain for now. How about that?
Good. Let's not complain. It is. And correct me if I'm wrong here, Kelvin. This is a interesting month, Mental Health Awareness Month, if I'm not mistaken, as I think this month of May is. And
Yes, it
you
is.
brought this idea, so kudos to you. We always look. We want to be very real about our show. And as much as we love FAMU, we love HBCUs. We just love our people, and some things that have happened recently within the HBCU sports community. We feel like we just kind of had to touch on and talk about. Obviously, two major stories that have come up, and I'm not. I hate to mix them both, but I'll introduce our guests in a second and talk about why we wanted to talk about this. A young lady, a cheerleader, young student athlete at Southern University, took her life about a week ago. And, it's very disturbing kind of hearing or seeing the message that she posted or the outlet, that she chose to express her final thoughts on. And that touched home for a lot of FAMU folks because, when you hit on the fact that FAMU had a student athlete, a cheerleader, who was taken away from her family and friends. Different circumstances, but still the same tragedy nonetheless. And then we had the situation that occurred involving the Delaware State University lacrosse team, in which they were, for lack of a better word, harassed. And they're still, I'm one of those people. I like to try to know why things happen. Violated, yeah. Coming from a lacrosse match. And so that happened in Georgia. So, the story got out over the last couple of weeks, really. And so we're still waiting on why it happened. But it just brings to light a lot of things, a lot of issues and things that happen within our community that we don't talk about. And I will confess here to you guys, I'm even going through that my own self, and dealing with the own grief that I've been dealing with over the last few months. But I don't know how that looks. I don't know what that is. I've never dealt with anything like this, and I know I have a loving sister who she's constantly telling me to go talk to this people, and she's more open about things than I am. So we thought we would bring on somebody that can kind of help us navigate through this. And Kelvin, I'll let you introduce because this was your idea. So Mel, if we could get ready to bring on our special guest, and Kelvin, I'll let you introduce who we have coming on and kind of what we wanted to do with this first segment.
So our special guest that'll be coming on is a rattler number one. He's like a brother to me. There's nobody he's kin to that I'm not kin to, because we are actually double first cousins. Two brothers married two sisters, our parents. So
Oh wow.
he grew up here in Tallahassee. Yeah, yeah. He grew up here in Tallahassee also. Um, I've known him all my life, literally. He's a couple of months older than I am. And so we all went to FAMU, and COVID was part of our circle. I'm gonna wait till he gets on before we relive one particular situation limitedly. But this brother has gone to do phenomenal things. He's a licensed psychologist. He's been doing counseling for years. He teaches in Minneapolis. He's been up about 25, 30 years. I don't know how he's standing cold. He keeps saying he want to come back to Tallahassee, but I can't tell it, man. You know, he's been gone so long. He must like shoveling snow. But anyway, uh, a very conscious brother. He's a noob too. I think a lot of people from their days, if you was on the yard from like 89 to about 95, probably familiar with him or his wife. And if you spend any time in the Minneapolis area, you would know him too. But anyway, uh, this subject was serious, and I thought we had to have someone who was professional to come and help us kind of talk through these things and drop some wisdom, and hopefully this will benefit someone in our community. If only one person it makes a difference for then that's good enough. That's one that we help. So with no further ado, um, this is the real Dr. Phil. I call him the Black Dr. Phil. So my
Let's go,
my
Doc.
cousin Phil Roger. What's up? How you doing, man?
Oh
Can you
man,
hear us?
thank you for that introduction. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we good.
Can
We
you hear
good.
me? Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
for that
yes.
introduction. Matter of fact, I feel like I went home with that introduction. I feel like I'm back in Tallahassee now. Good to be
Hey,
here.
before we
Definitely
get
good to
started,
be here.
yeah, before we get started, Brian, Phil, you the one with a photographic memory. You remember everything. And when we hadn't talked in a while, you always bring up something, right? That bring it home. So you mentioned something earlier today when we talked about the last time me and you and Kofi uh were together. Uh
Jesus.
Kofi, we ain't going there, but do you remember? Do you remember?
What happens in Panama City stays in Panama City, and I'm just going to leave it at that. What happens in Panama City on
Hey,
spring break will stay
Oh
in
man.
amen.
Panama spring break, and I'm going to leave it at
Amen.
that. But I found it very
You
interesting that somebody ended up in Minneapolis. I'm just going to leave it right there. Because it was some
Oh
people
Woo!
man.
down from spring break that was down there from that Minnesota area
Hey, hey,
that,
hey, Brian,
uh
Brian,
oh.
you can
Uh
go ahead
oh.
with the show now.
Yeah. uh oh. We telling on
No
folks.
comment.
what
No
happens in
comment.
Panama City will stay in Panama City.
That's right.
Let's talk about some issues.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
That's right.
Dr. Phil, thank you for coming in and joining us. I honestly I don't know where to start, but as you saw, let's just talk about how we can help a friend. Let's start there. Obviously, the young lady at Southern who took her life expressed some things that I think she said something to the effect of a lot of people may not have seen. I mean, I've seen photos where she looked happy and there were things on the outside that seemed normal. But how can, I guess, from two aspects, let's go from our own selves when we're projecting one thing, how do we cope with the other side when things aren't going well in our life? But then also our friends, like if we have friends, what can we do to be there for our friends who seem like everything is going great in their life, but maybe not telling us the real, or at least all of what's going on in their own life?
Very good question. Very good question. Let me start off with we live in a different time. And that's one of the things that we got working against us. In the generation before, I remember when we were younger, we would spend the night with each other, we would hang out for hours. And all of that time, you get a chance to connect with people in a way where people are actually sharing a little bit more with you than they normally would share. But this day and time in social media, you do quick taglines, quick text messages. And so, how close are you really getting to the people that you call your friends? How much time are you actually spending with them? Are you going? I remember, we just laughing and joking about Panama City, but there's a long ride to Panama City. Lots of discussions happen there. Lots of discussion happens on the way back. And then when you pair that with COVID, when we were quarantined, isolated, it put us in a bad predicament when it came to staying connected to the people around us. It's one of the things I think is important is to value relationships as far as quality. And quality is making time for people to connect. I think the other is that so many times we connect as a result of a business transaction or having some type of transactional relationship where, I'm gonna meet up with you because, my girlfriend is friends with your girlfriend. We're gonna hang out, or it's transactional in the sense of, I have this business idea, you have a piece to this business idea, and so we're gonna hang out. And so as a result of all of those transactional relationships, we're not getting the time to actually form relationships that are strong enough for people to be vulnerable and talk things that may be bothering them.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Kofi.
Well, I mean,
Kofi, did you
the
have
whole
something?
mental health scenario is very dear to me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. I was just going to say that the mental health scenario is very dear to me because my spouse was diagnosed as being bipolar. Very, very early on, I didn't really have a healthy mental health. I was very spiritual, so to speak, and everything was a devil, everything was a demon, and I was ready to cast them out and do all kind of other stuff. But listen, when the scenario began to manifest, I had people around me say, "Hey, something is wrong. Like something is off. I can't put my finger on it, but something is definitely off. What do you want to do? How can we help? Because again, that's a whole different conversation because of certain laws. If it doesn't agree to get the help, they won't get it. So they have to come into compliance to have a desire to see the need to get help in order to receive that help. Luckily, when she had the breakdown, she was at school and they had to call the ambulance. I mean, I'm getting very personal, but they had to call the ambulance. The ambulance came, they got her, picked her up. They're on I-285. They're telling me she almost tried to jump out of the back of the ambulance. They had to bring her down. When I got to the place, she barely could. She recognized me. Then she didn't recognize me. So again, recognizing the signs, recognizing when something is off, something is not normal. what is normal behavior for Dr. Phil? What is normal behavior for Kelvin? What is normal behavior for Kofi? What is normal behavior for Brian? What is normal behavior for Akila? And then looking at when it ain't normal, you know, observing it and taking the time to say, hey, what is, you know, this right here is not normal. How can we get you evaluated just to make sure that everything is okay? And it took years to be able to get to that point where you could openly, I could openly ask my wife. And then, you know, I became one of those people just, you know, looking around at everybody around me. No, something is off. Listen, no, something is clearly off with this particular individual. We need to look at seeing what we need to do to them additional help, you know, or at least get them some counseling, get them some therapy. That's not a normal statement. That's not a normal, that's not their base for what they normally do. You know, they look different. Let's talk about it. So what we're talking about is building stronger relationships that require you for doing more than just saying, hey, what's up? You know, it requires some questions. It requires some real quality time with the individual to get to know that individual, what makes them tick, what makes them happy, what makes them upset, and to hear, as Brother Phil was talking about, all of the different traumas that they have gone through. You know, when my wife was going through that, way back in her childhood, she dealt with, I want to say, the tragedy of her father murdering her mom and being there. That's trauma. So what might not be, I mean, that's significant trauma, even at age 2. You know, being able to cover all that up for all those years is a darn miracle. But my point is, let's take the time to get to know one another for real and be able to discern when something is off.
Great. That's a great point. Great point, Kofi. Do y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Great point. You touched on something that is one of the signs for someone who may have the potential to harm themselves. It's a big one. I call it the big T, trauma. Anybody with trauma history, it may put them at risk for all types of mental health concerns. And unfortunately, we have to keep it real. In the Black community, there's trauma all up in our community for many different reasons, depending on where we live. If we live in the inner city, you know, we have trauma. I remember, you know, even in Tallahassee, I remember hanging out Magnolia Terrace, and I remember a childhood friend, killing himself and his wife and being carried out in an ambulance and watching that. And that's at a young age. It's a lot more trauma I remember having. I remember having my own cousin murdered by her husband. And so we have this trauma that are typically a part of our lifestyle, and for some of us. And so that also put us at risk for mental health concerns. Another one is you know, people who are struggling with their sexual orientation. Is another trigger point, especially at age between 18 to 25. That whole coming out process. A lot of people of all demographic backgrounds struggling with their sexual identity may also be prone to harming themselves in some form or fashion. Substance abuse. Now, this is a big one because sometimes with substance abuse, things are bad, but then we make it worse when we smoke or drink, because when we're under the influence of substances, we're more likely to complete a suicide. And we also more likely to find ourselves in harm's way with many other incidents, whether it be violence, whether it be accidental, but drugs tend to also be another place where we're kind of increasing our. And I think some of the, it's not just risk factors. Those are some of the risk factors. And of course, depression is a risk factor. And then when you think about the case of, I think her name was Alana Miller, right? When you think of Alana Miller at Southern, her lab reported that she's been struggling with this school. About who complete is that they've had suicidal ideation attempts before they actually complete their suicide. Many people who actually complete suicide, it usually is not the first go round with those types of thoughts. Another trigger is impulsivity. So, people who have a hard time controlling their impulses typically are people at risk for harm themselves because they may make the decision without thinking it through. But the good thing is there are also some resilient factors that will protect us from mental health concerns. One is spirituality, having a strong faith and spiritual support, social support in churches or in whatever spiritual institution that you're a part of. That is a resilient factor, that what we call a protective factor that may keep on arm's way of mental health. Another one, of course, is having relationships where you can share and be vulnerable with people. I remember I was growing up. Probably part of the reason why I didn't have as many concerns, even with the traumatic stuff happening with me, I had friends and cousins that I could talk to all the time about anything. And having that social support there to be able to talk about these different things kept me, it was a protective factor that kept me from developing, certain mental health concerns later. Another protective factor is exercise, believe it or not. So this is where, in many cases, being an athlete, this is where it works in athletes' favor. Is when, exercise. We know for a fact that exercise fights depression and anxiety. So that's another important protective factor. So
Kelvin, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Kelvin?
All I was going to say is protective factors is something to also pay attention to if you're looking for finding ways to kind of, protect your loved ones. Of course, some of the risk factors are things to pay attention to when you're wondering about people in trouble.
Okay, Doc, you kind of enlighten us. I want to get us out on this. What are some of your recommendations if we have concerns about loved ones or friends who exhibit some of these risk factors, and we looking for an intervention? What are suggestions?
Yes. So we talk about counseling. One of the things that we found especially is that you want to connect somebody with a counselor who looks like they have their experiences. That's going to give you the best result. I think also the church is a resource for emotional for support. So sometimes when people are disconnected, we know there's years where people get disconnected sometimes from the church, and those are the years that they are in danger. And so connecting them with social organizations, clubs, places where they don't feel alone or isolated Also, you're concerned about a loved one being mentally compromised in some way, I think it's very important to know some important things around how to help. For example, if you're going to call the police department, and specifically Tallahassee Police Department, what you want to do is ask for a CIT officer. If the person you are wondering about is having mental health concerns, they're having some type of psychosis or some type of breakdown, you alert the police that this is a mental health issue. That's very important because even though the rates for suicide is low for African Americans compared to other demographic groups, those rates are rising, but those rates aren't taking into account how many people who have died by means of the police because of a mental health concern. Because in that situation, it's going to go under a homicide, not a suicide. And so it's very important that you make sure that if you think someone is struggling with mental health, that you call the police and you ask for specifically a CIT trained officer who's trained. And also you can request the police to come to your residence without the lights or without the sirens if you think that the sirens and the lights will set them off.
Okay. Good information.
Yeah, but it's real because it's all around us in this day and age, and so it's important for us to remain vigilant and to remain alert, and to be a safe place for one another. I know a lot of times, even when we are around and we're shooting the breeze, one of the things that gossip does is it prohibits you from becoming a safe place. No matter how juicy the news is, somebody is always watching. And so when you relay that information on to somebody else, and you're one of those people that just runs other people's business, somebody with a mental health issue that may have access to you, that may need to reach out to you, probably may not reach out to you because gossip breaks that trust. So we have to watch a lot of the things that we say and do, just because we've got to relearn how to really be our brother's keeper, how to really be our sister's keeper, how to really stand watch and stand guard and be integral about personal information, and not panic when you hear it or when you see it, and be able to get to them, and I want to say prescribe and give them effective communication and care.
Very good point, Kofi. Very good point.
Hey, I know we've got to get ready to head to a break, but Doc, is there any way, if people have, I don't know if people have concerns or other questions, I don't know if you're out in the social media space, or if people can contact you, or where can someone contact if they have some concerns or things that they want to address with someone? How would you recommend that they reach out to whether it be you or somebody else? What do you suggest there?
Yeah, if anybody want to reach out to me, you can reach me via my email, prosier, that's PROSIER 28 at hotmail.com. Also, I wanted to also let the people in the Leon County area know that there is a crisis line called 211. And so if you call 211 Big Bend, and you're having some concerns, or you're wondering about, you feel it off, something's not quite right, you want somebody to talk to, you can call 211 Big Bend, and they have a crisis counselor. And they also provide counseling for people who might be contemplating suicide. So that's one important number to know. And and anyone want to reach me to talk further, you can reach me at prosier28@hotmail.com.
prosier28@hotmail.com. prosier28@hotmail.com.
All right.
There you go. Sing it, Kofi.
Appreciate
Sing it.
you.
Sing it. You didn't sing it, Kofi.
prosier28@hotmail.com.
Oh,
There
he'll
you
start
go.
singing
There
now.
you
You leave him out there. He'll
Hey.
start singing. He'll sing a melody for you. We a gospel
Hey,
hymn or something. So.
prosier28@hotmail.com. There we go.
It ain't
There you go.
PC Rosa. It ain't
He
PC
said,
Rosa 91.
okay.
Please
Okay.
stop. Please stop. All right. See, you put that man. You leave that man's business alone. See, you're horrible, Kelvin. You're horrible.
Oh, man.
You see how they do you, Dr. Phil? You see how your family? That's family, right?
It wasn't
That's
me.
family.
It wasn't me.
I see how family
It
does
wasn't
you.
me.
I see
All
how
love,
family
all
does you.
love.
Yeah, all love. There'll be a lot of that going on today. I see all love. Yeah, okay. Hey,
Jesus.
Dr. Rozier, thank you for your time this afternoon. We appreciate you taking some time out and talking with us and sharing not only your email, but sharing your info and your wisdom. We thank you very much.
Thank you, and I appreciate you all having me on. And I'm definitely glad to be in this place, providing support.
All right.
Thank
Hey,
you, Doc.
coming up after the break, a quick 2 minutes. We got Coach Mike Rice, our FAMU golf coach, coming on, talk to us about the season. And so let's take a quick 2 minutes, come back, and have Coach Rice on. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone. We'll be back in just a moment.
Don't worry, Ma. We'll be there soon.
We? Is this the one?
Well, let's say I found the one who takes me to another level. Always stays calm under pressure. Most importantly, the one that helps me discover the coolest places.
This sounds wonderful.
Come outside, I'll introduce you.
They're here.
Definitely the one.
Introducing the all-new Nissan Frontier.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
The top HBCU programs in the nation come to Montgomery, Alabama's Riverwalk Stadium this May 11th through 14th for the Black College World Series. The best Black college baseball teams in the NCAA Division II and the NAIA will battle for Black baseball's ultimate pride. Games will be streamed live at www.mybcsn.net. Tickets are available now online at www.blackcollegechampionships.com.
Bounty versus the old family dish towel. Drying with a fresh sheet of Bounty leaves your hands cleaner than a used dish towel that can carry and redistribute food residue. So ditch the dish towel for better hand hygiene. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit. Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio.
That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company.
Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all 3 credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results.
Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds.
You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
Okay, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Brian Fulford, Kelvin Rozier. Not sure, guys. I don't know if you're hearing my echo. We got Coach. Not sure, guys. Coach Mike Rice joining us right now. Coach Mike Rice joining us right now.
Hello.
Yeah, we hear you, Coach.
Yeah,
I'm gonna jump in while Brian try to work this out.
Thank you.
Well, I'm echoing too.
Somebody, Coach, are you listening to the show? Somebody's listening to the show.
No, sir, not me.
No. Okay, not really sure what's going on. Go ahead, Calvin. I'm gonna try to figure out what's going on here.
All right, Coach. Just talk about your last two tournaments. They were kind of opposite. The SWAC championship. You fell behind early day one. Then you did well the last 2 days. And then the PGA tournament. You jumped out pretty good. And then you just didn't make any progress. The last 2 days. So talk about both tournaments and what you thought happened with your young team.
So, I mean, you definitely did your homework, Kelvin, because they were two opposite tournaments. You know, and you know, it goes back, and I talked about it earlier in the season. It was a young team, and I thought we had a very successful year. I think we, you know, had some guys that got a lot of reps this year, got a lot of experience. Some of that showed up the last day of the tournament, the SWAC. As you said, you know, we spotted the field 21 shots to start out. I was completely shocked. Worst round of golf we played all year. Happened to be, you know, in that tournament. I think they were a little tight. You know, I think they just felt a little pressure. And to say this, you know, and I don't like to use excuses, but we were only able to get 9 holes in the practice round, which kind of hurt us. We didn't know what was going on the backside until the second day. But, you know, we spotted them and then we tried to run them down. And I thought the young guys did a good job of fighting and really thought they had a good chance, which, you know, I loved. And I was excited going into the PGA Works because of that. I thought, you know, maybe we finally did figure out how to finish golf tournaments. And, you know, we played well at the PGA Works. I'm not one, I don't watch leaderboards and I don't watch live scoring. I think I always worry that it's bad luck, so I don't do it. But come to find out, we had the lead after 9 holes to go, and then we just played terrible on the backside. It was just, I don't know, pressure or you know, just being young. But they saw the leaderboard, and I was hoping they didn't, but they did. And you know, we had you know, again, we're playing 3 freshmen out the gate. You know, in college golf is way different than, you know, high school golf and junior golf. So they got a good taste of it. But I'll tell you this, man, we got a group of guys with a lot of talent. They're going to continue to work their butts off, and I'm gonna tell you, in 2 years, it's going to be it'll be a completely different picture. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I think we got whatever issues. Yeah. Well, no, I still hear it. Well, Coach, I'm glad you were talking about your youth, because your guys also finished third in the SWAC. So talk a little bit about that. The challenges of just the growth of those guys. Those young guys really did a great job this year of growing up and battling through some tough starts, but then they finished strong in the end.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying in the SWAC. It you know, we spotted 21 shots, and I was completely shocked when we finished and was dead last after the first day. I mean, but that's not the team we are. And I challenged them. You know, the next night we had a team meeting, and it was to challenge them to say, look, we're way better than this. We got to put our heads down. We got to grind. We got to fight for every shot. We can't be giving shots away. I think they just got down the first day. Again, we played the back nine blind. There was a tornado that came through during the practice round, so we saw 9 holes and just never saw the back nine. So we really didn't have a game plan for it anyway. So everybody's out there kind of blind, trying to figure out where everything goes. But we had a pretty good idea the second day. And we were low score second and last day. And I tell you, if we'd had 9 more holes, I think it's a different story. But they only give you 54. So, but again, they've come so far. I mean, we had 2 freshmen starting out early in the season. Quite frank, one of them that I thought would be more of maybe a year or two, a very athletic kid, played basketball and golf in high school, so never has been a full-time golfer, who ended up getting in the lineup by the end of the season and got a lot of great experience from playing. So, some of these guys did way more than what I expected them to do for the season. So, again, I'm excited for next year, and who knows, 2 or 3 years what it's going to look like. And we got some good talent coming in that we signed as well. We got a couple freshmen that are going to come in and fight. And we're in a good spot, man. I'm turning away kids that I probably wouldn't have turned away 6-7 years ago, and taking kids, that want to come to FAMU to have a chance to play on the team that can win. So that's always a good thing. So again, the program's in a great place.
You're on mute, Kelvin. Try that again. Try that again.
Well, let me just say, how's recruitment?
Again, we're getting the best of the best. I mean, I'm turning away kids. I'm making calls to other university for kids because we don't have room for them. We travel with 5. I'm probably going to have 13 kids next year because I also have a hard time turning them away. If I think that they can at some point contribute, we're going to keep them, and we're going to try to find a way to get them into school, to help them, financially if we can. But 13's a big squad. And so because of our success the last few years, kids want to come, and then that's what we want. We want to continue to grow the program and be the number 1 HBCU out there. I think, just to kind of let this out as we did win a tournament this year, which is always a success. If you can win 1 a year, you've done well. But even more importantly, with this young team, we still finished as the 2nd lowest ranked HBCU golf team in the country. The only one that is above us is Howard. And they got a pretty good couple of their 1 and 2 guys are experienced kids that are very talented, that we're chasing. But I think next year we're gonna send a little extra at them. So we'll see what happens.
So, Coach, I think I noticed that you had a few cars.
Say again, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 5 freshmen. I think I noticed. 5 freshmen and 2 guys who made all PJ and all. One's a junior.
Correct.
One's a sophomore. Freshman.
Right.
No freshman. So.
Right. One freshman, one junior.
So talk about you mentioned the future.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, I think a little of the audio issue may be coming from. Can you turn the volume on your car down? I think that may be causing your speaker. For some reason, there may be some bounce back there.
Okay. Let me try this.
I think that may be causing the echo you're hearing.
Is that better?
Yeah, we can still hear you. Yes, that was good. Now we don't hear it. We can still hear you.
That was good. Now we don't hear it. We can still hear you.
Got it. Sorry about that.
Just came back
Can y'all hear me all right?
I don't know. Kelvin, try to go ahead and ask through your question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Kelvin, try to go ahead and ask
you're on mute, Kelvin. So try to see if you can finish your question.
You're on mute, Kelvin. So try to see if you can finish your question.
I am not mute now. You hear me, right?
I am not mute now. You hear me, right?
It's a serious delay too.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you, Coach.
Yeah, we can hear you.
What your program need?
Resource-wise?
And that's a good question. You know what we need? You know, it was probably the biggest thing I had hurdle-wise this year was transportation. You know, we for one, I mean, the price of hotels, everything went up, but finding 15 passenger vans this year was crazy. Couldn't find them anywhere. And, you know, of course, we have a few on campus, which I was able, with some of the, you know, connections I have, to get them. But, man, it was crazy. You know, having your own vehicle to know that you can jump in and go anytime you want is huge. I didn't realize it till this year. And then, you know, we're continuing. Rozier, you'd be shocked. I know you were there when we first started the whole on-campus driving range, but it's all coming together, man. And I think within the next couple of years, it will be a real driving range that'll be netted. We'll be able to hit any club we want. We have help, you know, Southwood. That's where I'm at right now. So you saw me in my vehicle. I don't get a chance to play golf during the season because it's just too busy. So I tried to sneak out here to get a few holes in and got caught up. But Southwood takes care of us. So, I mean, resource-wise, we're way, and a lot of it is success, man. It's crazy when you're winning, and I think the way we're doing is we do it different than most. Our team looks different than all HBCUs. You can look at it, and you know, there's companies out there, TaylorMade, that, you know, has been fantastic, providing balls and gloves and even equipment when the guys need it. They all got brand new drivers fitted to them this year. That was huge. So, I mean, it's been great, man. People are, I mean, again, as long as we can continue to do what we do and do it at the right way, people want to help. And, man, it definitely makes my life a lot easier, you know, being able to provide those things for those guys, because that's how they get better. That's how we, you know, continue to develop them. Otherwise, you know, it's tough. But transportation was a pain in the butt this year, and them darn hotel prices need to go down so we can travel a little easier. But you know, we're in a good place, honestly. I mean, by far farther along we've been maybe ever. And so these guys, you know, are getting things that we only wish we could have when I was here playing. So I'm just going to continue to try to, you know, give them everything they can to develop. That's what we're trying to do. But Jeroge, you definitely got to come out and look at that driving range. It definitely, you'd be.
Okay, so Coach.
Yes, sir.
I'll reach out to you this week.
I'll reach out to you this week.
Yeah, please do.
All right, Coach. Hey, let's do this. We're gonna definitely get you back on here probably going into the summer when we figure out our audio situation. But let people know how they can donate and give and reach out to you and support. You already talked about some of your needs, but we want to make sure people can directly reach you and how they can reach you with the things that you need.
Awesome. Obviously, my email, preston.rice@famu.edu, is my direct email. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. And then, obviously, through the foundation, the FAMU Foundation is the best way to donate to the golf team. That gives us, you know, that's our bank account that allows us to directly influence these young guys. So definitely, you know, you go online. All you're doing is earmarking it to FAMU men's golf. It's huge. And we talk about how good these guys are on the golf course, but equally in the classroom, we had 8 or 9 guys this semester with a 3.0 or higher. Had 2 with a 4.0. So they're doing it both in the classroom and on the golf course, and we require that. That's not that's a given. They have a threshold. If they don't get a 3.0 or higher, they find themselves in study hall. And Roger, as you know, that ain't where they want to be. So we put the bar high there for them, to something for them to reach for, and they're looking. They want to know when they get done whether they have that study hall hours or not. So, but they're doing great. We do great in the classroom and on the golf course. So, good things going on with the golf team.
Coach, I thought you were going to say they were out shagging balls if they don't get their GPA grades right. That's what I thought you were going to say.
They'd rather do that than be in that study hall. That would be the easy way out.
Okay, well said. Well, hey, we gotta we'll make sure to spread the word on how people can support the program, and then
please do.
We still gotta figure out how we gotta create something like a top golf fundraising activity for the golf program, man. We gotta figure out how to do something.
I like it, Roger. We'll put that on you.
We'll put that on.
He did. He already did.
Hey, look, that top golf is fun too. That's a great way.
Exactly. Hey, Coach, thanks for your time tonight, and congrats on the season. We'll definitely be in touch here again.
Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all having me on.
All right. All right, again, folks, that was Coach Mike Rice, our head coach, golf program, FAMU golf program. Let's take a break, come back, figure out what we got going on. I'm live. The guys are in the home studio. I'm on location, and already it's been a jam-packed show. A lot of you guys in there on YouTube and Facebook got a lot of things to talk about, and so we'll get into some of those things coming up on the other side. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone. We'll be back in just a moment.
Carriers will give you just one measly entertainment subscription. One is no fun. With Verizon, there's up to 7 entertainment subscriptions with your unlimited plan. That's 7 times the... 7 times the... No. 7 times the... Music, gaming, Disney+, Hulu, ESPN+, and more. That's 7 times the entertainment! Because everyone deserves better. And with plans starting at just $35, better costs less than you think.
At Tyson, we know taste is local. Some like their beef pit smoked, their chicken spiced all the way up, or their pork sweet and saucy. Local flavors, global impact. That's what feeding the world is all about.
Now, you can live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
It's like a loot machine. All around town, trying to get down.
Vanilla smoked sea salt seasoning is for seafood. The tarragon and fennel bring out the natural sweetness in seafood. I also use it in rice dishes, on yams, asparagus, blueberry pancakes, and believe it or not, chocolate chip cookies. Vanilla smoked sea salt adds a salty and savory component to sweet dishes that create a symphony for the tongue.
We are making the virtual HBCU experience available wherever you live through Stillman Online. We offer online degrees in business, criminal justice, psychology, and religion. Stillman also offers technology badges in cybersecurity and data analytics. You can participate in all student activities, fraternities and sororities, internships, graduation ceremonies, and much more. Apply for admission today at stillman.edu. Stillman College, where we prepare you for a different world.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Are you ready? It's time. The inaugural Urban Nerdcon is coming to Montgomery, Alabama, July 29th through the 31st. Blurs, nerds, and geeks from across the universe will converge on the capital city to see celebrity guests such as The Last Dragon, Tybok, Megan Tandy, and voice actor Dave Fennoy.
Hey, how you doing? I'm voice actor Dave Fennoy with a shout out to all my geeks, freaks, and urban nerds. Just want to let you know I'm going to be there and I want to meet you at the Urban Nerdcon Gaming and Cosplay event. It's happening July 29th through the 31st in Montgomery, Alabama. Hope you want to meet me as much as I want to meet you.
So join us by visiting theurbannerdcon.net for ticket and vendor information. This will be the premier blurred event in the universe. Theurbannerdcon.net. Our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone's con. See you there.
Okay, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, and Kofi here. Gotta give a shout out to our previous guests in the first hour. Dr. Phil for coming in and sharing some of his time and knowledge with us. And then, of course, Coach Rice. FAMU Golf moving in the right direction. Yeah. So we appreciate you guys for hanging in there with the technical issues. So we appreciate you guys, and so we're doing all right here. We'll get it going here. So, all right. Well, we got mess to talk about. I don't even know where to start, so I'm gonna turn it over to Kofi because I know Kofi will start us off right. So, Kof, what's going on in Rattler Nation up there in the highest of Seven Hills in Tallahassee? What's going on? Hold on, you're on mute, Kofi.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Kof.
See, already starting off bad.
I'm good. Can you hear me now?
All right. We got you now. Right. We got you.
If you can read, you can basically see what's going on. And it's been going on for some time. It's really been going on over the last 8 months. Unfortunately, there's so many layers to this. It's gotten to the state called ridiculous. So I want to start by saying we need to continue, and I'm going to continue saying what I've been saying the last few weeks, is that Larry Robinson basically has to go. The reason why he has to go is that he's not being the leader that he's being paid to. Here's what I'm going to say, because as much as I love these people, they're not getting paid to run FAMU. They're not held accountable to run FAMU. So I could give less than a good you-know-what if the president of the NAA brings a suggestion and pushes something that interferes with FAMU. He doesn't make the decision. It doesn't go through him. If a state representative comes to push something that is not ethical or not right, and it puts FAMU in danger, you know, he doesn't have any influence. The person that I'm going to be looking at is the president. The president is the one that is paid to make the decisions that are going to put FAMU in its best light or its worst light. It's as simple as that. Unfortunately, you know, when it comes to this whole thing with Gaucher and all these other people that got involved with it, it's just a wretched mess. Now, what is our posture? This is where we come in. As FAMUans, what we need to do is posture ourselves first in prayer, because we need to definitely be praying for our institutes, because there's a whole lot at stake. Because what we're looking at is basically a lack of institutional control. And when you get to that spot, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. We're talking about SACs, we're talking about NCAA, we're talking about all these different things because the president lacks the balls to run the president lacks the cojones to run the university. Okay? And that within itself is a problem. Let me go on ahead and say, in addition to that, we've got to go forth and put people in place. We got a compliance person. All right. So Mike Smith, we need you to jump up. We need you to set the house in order. You and the Zish now. So I'm expecting you to make some statements, begin to tell us what the plan is going forward. We already know we got to replace a compliance person. Let me help you. Darlene Moore is well skilled. Bring her back. Let me say that again. Bring Darlene Moore back. Let her run compliance. Put her over track. That covers two things right there that puts us in a better light immediately. Stop playing these little games. Stop letting people get in your ear and try to influence you. Now, I got a problem, you know, because I love my brother Greg Clark, okay? But, you know, you're in position right now to lead the National Alumni Association, and we haven't heard a darn word from you in the last 3 months because your good friend Courtney is nowhere to be found. That is utterly ridiculous, and yes, I got a problem with it. Then you can't answer nobody's calls who are looking out for the best interests of the university, but you answer Courtney's calls. And you backing Courtney every time I look up on his page, your face is there. It's ridiculous and it's sad, but this is the way you going out. I challenge you to step up, sir. I challenge you to take us to another dimension and level. It's not right. It's not fair. And if you're not going to lead, move the hell out of the way. And yes, I said it and I meant it. Now, as far as Dr. Robinson goes, sir, in my opinion, you got like a good week to put together a retirement plan and get out the way. It's not fair. If you're not going to run the university, move out the way. Let the people that are going to run the university run it. Now, as alums, we got to have a plan, and this is where Greg Clark comes in. You know, we got to have one. Who's going to be next to step up? Who's going to be next? That we've got somebody in that seat that has a clue how to run the university and what to do. It's not right. If you don't have the balls to lead FAMU and to lead these group of ninjas, you don't need to be in the seat. It's not right. You're getting paid too much money, sir. Paid too much money. Since I love your wife, I think you had a great run. It's just time for you to move out the way. Now, we got other things. We posture ourselves in prayer so that we can hear clearly. And then again, push the agenda that's going to put us in position to be successful. To be successful. To be successful as an athletic department and also as a university. We're talking about the accreditation. We're talking dollars. We're talking all these things that are literally at stake because everybody decided that they wanted to be president and ain't getting paid. So I'm at a point right now where my patience has literally run out. So all of you people that are behind the scenes, I want you to hear it clearly. If you don't move out of the way within the next couple of weeks, I'm out in all of y'all ninjas, and I could care less. I could care less if we friends now or not, because you are interfering with the institution that I love, and you're basically being a damaging asset to the people that want to do FAMU ruin. You are worse. Okay, we can't gossip. We don't need to focus on the gossip. We need to focus on the solutions and what we need to do to send FAMU forward. I'm done for now. Hello?
Kelvin, would you like to follow? Yeah, we hear you. Hey, Kelvin, would you like to follow? I can't even follow that because there's
Follow
nothing
that
I can
rant?
follow and add to it.
Oh yeah.
Well,
No.
Look, I'm sick of. Look, I'm totally tired.
No, you're on
Let me
point.
jump back in here. Let me jump
Yeah,
back
go
in
ahead.
here.
Jump back in.
All right. I'm tired of all these backseat ninjas, who were in FAMU yesteryear, and because you gave a couple of thousand or $10,000, that makes you run the university. Sir, you're not paid to run the university. You don't pay for influence, especially when your influence is dysfunctional and you're putting the university in danger. Get out the way. You had your time. Now, I can see it if you're saying something that's very valuable. But for people that bring value to the university and bring substance to the university, and you have the nerve and audacity to take your opinion and get with your frat brothers and do what you want to do, you're out of order. You're out of order. Is FAMU first or move out of the way? Your fraternal bonds have nothing to do with the direction of the university. That's your personal time. Do your personal time. Do not interfere with the direction of FAMU unless it's bringing us to another level. I can see it if it's like that. But God is not the author of confusion. When you see confusion, you know who's at work. It ain't God. It's a bunch of gossiping, cackling people that don't have a clue as to how to bring a solution. It's not right. Again, when you have a bunch of people that would rather gossip and run their mouth and have influence than to push the right direction of the university, I got a problem with that. I got a major problem.
I look at some of the things that I've read recently, and I hear what Kofi's saying. I think I keep saying why.
Look,
I keep saying who do we go to?
People.
What's the point?
People have
Who
character
do?
flaws.
Not I didn't say what's the point, but where are we going? Who do we go to if we can't go to? Go ahead.
Again, this is where Greg Clark comes in, but he's nowhere to be found because apparently, he's got another.
Well, he's on his way out the door. He's on his way out the door. He's on his way out the door in a month.
You're still the president. We need you to lead because unfortunately there is a protocol. Now, me personally, I've got a couple of people that I would like to join me on the fast for the university, but at the end of the day, we still need to set the house. There's still work that needs to be done. Okay? There's work that needs to be done. We've got a bunch of students headed to summer school. We got a bunch of students headed to summer school that need to get paid. I mean, that need their scholarships fulfilled. Okay? With that transition with the AD, all of that stuff is at stake right now. So we need somebody to at least state exactly where we are. We need the AD to state where we're going, and we need the AD to state how we're going to get there. We need the NAA president to at least state that, to admit as to where we are now, where we're going, and how we're going to get there. All right. I'm done. I'm shut up for now. Let me shut up.
Hey, quick question, Kelvin. Has the actual position actually been posted? Because I remember that was up for debate as of last week. Has it actually gone up and been posted yet?
That's where I was going to. I as far as I know, I hadn't seen it anywhere. So I want to know where we are in that process. Where's the advertisement? Where's the committee? Has any agenda been set up, a first meeting and so forth? I want structure. As Kofi mentioned, it's about, for me, work now. All the pettiness, all the folks who had agendas, brought us to this point, man. The clicks, it's time out for that. Now we got this mess that we have to clean up, and it's gonna take work and structure. And honestly, the names he calling, I don't look for that from them. All right, they had the opportunity. This is where we are. I'm looking for some of the rest of Rattler Nation, the rest of us as a collective to raise up and do what's best for our programs. And that's what I hope comes about. It sounds like we got a caller.
Well, I think all of y'all are right. You guys are really smart.
Go ahead,
Thank you
Brian.
for doing the things that you're doing. Thank you, callers, for doing the things you're doing, guys. You guys are really, really smart. We really appreciate you. Rattler Nation owes you a debt of gratitude we can never repay. Thank you. Good night.
Hey, look, who do we send the emails to? Because I feel like we want an update on the status. I think this is a good time to say whose email do we flood right now this evening with emails, and keep it to a simple sentence. What is the status of the athletic director hiring? Whose email are we
Well,
sending it to?
the chairperson
Stroud.
of the committee is Dr. Shante Friday Stroud. So
You
I
want to
would
blow
think
her
you would
email
start with
up?
the chair.
Do we blow there? We blow her email up. All
Got to
right,
start.
so
It's got to start at the
go.
top.
All right, so go ahead. I know Kofi got a hand up. I'm going to look for the email address right now. Go ahead. Keep going, Kofi. Talk while I look up the email
All right.
address.
No worries. And post the email. So for those of you
Yes.
that were asking about the fast is going to begin on Monday. It's very simple. It's a 10-day fast. 10 is the number of order. 10 is the number of government. 10 is the number for responsibility. So we're doing a 10-day fast for those things and the needs of FAMU at this time. All right. We need leadership to step in and set order. We need order, not chaos. So what fasting does is it puts our flesh at a minimum, and so that we can make space for solutions, the godly solutions to come in, and we can have a frame of mind going forward. So the fast begins. The first 7 days of the 10-day fast is basically no red meats or no meats, no sweets. You can have fish, you can have chicken, but you can't have cheesecake, you can't have pound cake, no carrot cake, none of that stuff that's sweet. No sodas, no coffee, none of that stuff. Coffee with sugar. Now, obviously, a lot of people need that little jump or whatever, but I'll be willing to comply with the coffee because it's basically a base. So we can go with that. No sweets. And then the last 3 days is liquids only. Okay. So liquids consist of soups. You can have soup. You can have 100% juice. You can have water. You can have smoothies. You can have those things the last 3 days of the fast. But for the first 7 days, no meats, no sweets. And the last 3 days are liquids only. The soups, you can have potato soup, all kind of stuff in your little soup. Put it in there. As long as it's a liquid, we good. All right. So it's 10 days beginning on Monday. All right.
Kofi, I didn't know you.
But seriously.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, we don't come to, right now we need solutions. Right now we need solutions. I could bang on a whole bunch of people right now. Not the goal. The goal is solutions. We need the people that love Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University to rise up. This is not the time to set aside and say, no, we're not going to do X, Y, and Z. Be frustrated. We all frustrated. Lord knows I am madder than mad, but at the same time, we've got to come together. We've got to be the solution. And we also need to hold these people that are getting paid to do a job accountable.
Let's give out the phone number, man, and let people call in.
All right, we got the phone number. What's the phone number, Mel? Hit me up. I'm on location, guys. So there it is on the screen. 678-383-7623. Also, we got an email address that we'll be posting here in a moment. It is Dr. Shanta Friday Stroud's email address, university email address. We have to contact her. She will be our voice and the contact as the chair of this executive committee. We will send her an email. And we are encouraging everybody watching this show to send her an email and just simply ask, what is the status of the athletic director hiring process? Question mark. We look forward to hearing more in a public statement. Period. Because, see, this is how we have to make things happen, folks. This is how we have to make things happen. And if we have a lack of leadership at the top, and I mean, I just continue to go back. I read that article again in the Tallahassee Democrat, and it's like, I don't even know who we go to after that. After reading that, it's like everybody's at fault. Everybody's implicated. All right, we got a caller on the line coming in. Hey, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, can you hear me?
Hello, caller. We can hear you now. What's your name?
Yes,
Where are you
Rick
calling from?
Hensley. This is Rick Hensley calling from St. Chapel, Florida.
What's going
Yeah,
on,
how you
Rick? What's
doing,
on
Rick?
your mind?
Hey, it's we it seems like come week to week we're trying to do things to top the last thing that we had from the following week. And I agree with you, Kofi, is that it starts with the leader, who's right now President Robinson. He has yet to answer with Courtney's situation and now this latest situation that we got going on. It's time for a statement to be made by the president of the university, because it just seems like we're just spiraling out of control. So I support that he does need and he owes us an answer. And I hope that at the NAA conference that we get the leadership to speak and where this university is going, because right now it's just not looking good for us. So guys, keep up the good work. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you for calling. Hey, I put this out there a couple of weeks ago. I said, will anybody stand up, whether it be at the FAMU Foundation level, will it be the National Alumni Association, and put forth a vote of no confidence in Dr. Robinson? Will someone stand up and push that forward on June 1st at the National Alumni Association meeting? Now, after many of you folks read that article in the Tallahassee Democrat, and if you know, you know. I'm not even going to have to say anything. If you know what I'm talking about. That should come out. Somebody should say something. There's got to be a vote of no confidence. And I know we have a new president coming in, but we'd love for the old president, the outgoing president, to say something. It's unacceptable where we're at, folks. Kofi spelled out all the valid reasons we've been telling you for about a month. Go ahead, Kofi.
Again, anytime somebody has the influence who gets hired or fired, or if it's in that email that something was communicated that a certain employee was not to be touched. To me, that's basic grounds. If he didn't have the certification to be in that position to run the department that is literally in our alma mater, Gridiron Diamond Track and Field. If he didn't have the credentials, he didn't have the credentials. I don't care who his mama is. I don't care who his daddy is. I don't care who his brother-in-law is, his sister-in-law, his mama-in-law, his grandmammy-in-law. I don't care. If he don't have the credentials, he don't have the credentials. And he has to get out of the way. Say, sir, we'll still continue. We'll put you down. We're going to demote you from this particular title. You just simply don't have the credentials. That's going to put us out of compliance with the NCAA. That's a big deal to us. We got to be in compliance. So we're going to demote you, and we're going to still reassign you so you can continue to make a living because we like you, but you can't remain in this position because you're simply not qualified. Go and get your credentials, and we'll talk about it once you're there. But right now, we've got to reassign you because what you're doing is putting our status in compliance in danger. If that's the case, and you sat up there talking about somebody wasn't supposed to be touched that could put us in compliance issues, you got to get the stepping, and I mean immediately. Straight up.
Okay, Rattlers, look. Those of you watching this show, there's your email address. Shanta, Friday Stroud at FAMU.edu. She is the chair of the 18-member executive committee that's in charge of finding a new athletic director. let's send an email now. You're online, you're watching this show, you got quick access to your email. Be polite, be kind, but simply ask the question. What is the status of the hiring? Has the job even been posted? When will we know? When will someone make an announcement? First step, right here. First step, call to action right now, Rattler Nation. Call to action, because this is about this process right now, and something has to happen. We got a lot of people talking, a lot of people upset. We got to move past this. We have to move quickly. We can't continue to stay stuck in the mud where we're at right now. The world doesn't stop. The world of college athletics is moving so fast right now, it will pass us by and send us back another 3 to 5 years if things don't happen quickly and decisively.
Hey,
and we need strong leadership to make that happen.
all right, let me just add a couple of things. We're one of the few programs in all of Division One, FBS or FCS, whose athletic budget has decreased. Everybody else has increased their budget over 5 years. We used to be at 11.2, 11.5 at one time as an athletic budget, and now we're back to 8.5. We used to be at over 12,000 students. Now we're around 8,000 students, which are all not even full time. So we have regressed in some significant measures. And what is it about? Ultimately, it's not about the AD. It's not about the president. It's not about the NAA president. It's about our student athletes, people, and our coaches and our administrators and the folks having a opportunity to live their dreams and to be successful, to be champions. In order for that to happen, we have to do our part. Part of it is being in the stands and rooting to keep people on and financial. But some of that work also entails putting in work to make sure that we have an environment where they have an opportunity to be successful. And that takes resources. It takes more than 8.5 million. I don't care who the AD is, who we bring in. We have to let the administration know that that's a priority. We've got to get our budget at a level that we have an opportunity to realistically be competitive in every sport, and that entails bringing in support staff. We talk about the academic advisement side of athletics. Those people have to be NCAA certified. You just can't get a regular advisor to advise athletes, because the NCAA has requirements that could be above and beyond what the university requires. And we got into trouble last time we was on probation with a program, because the advisors didn't know, or the missions didn't know, when they were letting people in at the from the JUCO at the junior level, what the NCAA required. So having trainers, so that we can help the kids recuperate faster. The cool zone stuff that they trying to do. That's nice. But we still have a lot of infrastructure stuff that we need, and all we think about is coaches' salaries and scholarships. But to have a championship program is way more than that, man. We got to get more sports information people, so that we can have more of the sports broadcast, have the content on the website updated. It's a lot. It's a lot. And the only way that gonna happen is that we make it a priority, and we let our AD, our next national alumni president, our board of trustees chair. I ain't heard nobody say nothing about the board of trustees. We got to address that board of trustees too. They have failed us in this situation collectively, and you hadn't
Now
heard
let me
nothing
help.
from them either. Go ahead, Cole.
Let me help somebody. I see clearly. Okay, so again, there are layers to this. There's more than one layers. I know it's not about the money. For me, it's not about money. For me, it's about leadership. And let me tell, if we're going to judge this situation fairly, we cannot pick sides. I don't care how close you are to an individual. You know, we're literally dealing with what looks like to be children, you know, who don't have a clue as to how to discern the difference between what's right and what's wrong. You know, and my point is, you know, the destiny of FAMU is literally at stake. And this is where we as Rattler Nation have to come together. All that petty stuff, forget who you like, forget who you love. Because if I can be clear, you know, my man Moses Miles used to say this thing back in the day. You know, basically, if anybody, you know, wants to bring harm to Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, let the right hand lose his cunning, and may his tongue cleave to the roof of his mouth. Again, all of this vindictiveness, all of this revenge foolishness, because you got a problem because you didn't do your job and XYZ, or you got caught doing something that you should not have done, or you weren't ethical in all of your doings. It is what it is. But don't bring harm to the institution. Deal with the Negroes that put you in that position. Deal with the people that wronged you. Don't bring extra harm to the university because, again, I have nothing to do with that foolishness and stuff that y'all were doing up there. I was trying to talk to you all, but many of you all didn't want to talk back. So now we are here. All right? So again, if you bring harm to FAMU, may your right hand lose his cunning and may your tongue cleave to the roof of your mouth. If you're not here to help FAMU, if you're not here to shift FAMU, if you're here for your own agenda, if you're here to get in the way, if you're here to hype up your frat brother or whatever, and it supersedes what needs to happen at Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, move out the way, or your right hand, may your right hand lose its cunning, and may your tongue cleave to the roof of your mouth. We don't need to hear from you. You're not a rattler.
All right, pass collection plate.
I don't know. Is Brian on mute? Is Brian on mute?
Yes, I am on mute. Thank you. Yeah, I got you. I'm sorry. Yeah, just I was trying to make sure the background noise wasn't interrupting your sermon. But yeah, so we'll be back. 2 minutes. Take a break. Come back. You're watching O&G Strike Zone. We'll be back in a moment.
Don't worry, Ma. We'll be there soon.
We? Is this the one?
Well, let's say I found the one who takes me to another level. Always stays calm under pressure. Most importantly, the one that helps me discover the coolest places.
This sounds wonderful.
Come outside, I'll introduce you.
They're here.
Definitely the one.
Introducing the all-new Nissan Frontier.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food? Like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
The top HBCU programs in the nation come to Montgomery, Alabama's Riverwalk Stadium this May 11th through 14th for the Black College World Series. The best Black college baseball teams in the NCAA Division II and the NAIA will battle for Black baseball's ultimate pride. Games will be streamed live at www.mybcsn.net. Tickets are available now online at www.blackcollegechampionships.com.
Bounty versus the old family dish towel. Drying with a fresh sheet of Bounty leaves your hands cleaner than a used dish towel that can carry and redistribute food residue. So ditch the dish towel for better hand hygiene. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit. Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio. That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company. Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all 3 credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results. Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds. You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
Rattler Nation, welcome back to O&G Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, and Kofi. And yeah, I'm on location here in Montgomery, Alabama, where the Tyson Foods Black College World Series is taking place. Kelvin and Kofi in their home studios. I think we have a caller on the line. Let's jump to the caller, and then we'll kind of catch up with the Rattler Roundup. Hey, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Savannah, Georgia. Oh, wait, Jacksonville, Florida.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I was just
what's your name? First off, right? What's your name?
Will the is this the HBCU World Series number?
No, actually, this is the
line.
O&G. This is the O&G Strike Zone. Who are you looking for?
This was on the website for the live stream for the HBCU World Series, and I was just wondering if the live stream was going to be working.
Yeah, it is working. It should be working. Yes.
Is currently offline. Okay.
BlackCollegeChampionships.com, I believe is all right. Thank you. Mel, you want to confirm that for me? BlackCollegeChampionships.com is where they can catch the stream. All right, let's hold off on the phone calls here. It's a lot going on, folks. That's all right, though. The stream should be going up here pretty soon if it's not already there for the Black College Championships, man. I tell you what, gotta love the people. I didn't know we were taking call-ins for the baseball game, but anyway. I love it. I love no words. Hey, Rattlers, you've been called to action. We want you to send that email. Dr. Stroud, send the email. You've been called out. 10-day fast by Kofi Hemingway. Kofi, let the people know again. What can they do? Do something is what you told me, right?
Look, everybody's not, necessarily don't have a whole fasting regime that is a part of their life. So sometimes people panic and get afraid to join in on a fast. But I'm challenging you, even if you do a couple of hours out of the day, to say, you know what, I want to jump in on this. So from 6 a.m. to 12 noon, I'm not going to eat any sweets. I'm not going to, no meats, no sweets. I'm going to do that. Or I'm going to do liquids from 6 to noon or 6 to 9, whatever you can do. Do something. If you can't do the whole thing, do something. You can put down red meat for 2 hours. I'm great with that. Do something. Don't sit back and say, I don't want a part of this. But you're gonna see as a result, we need the hand of God to move in our favor in a major way. We need God to shift some things. We need God to move some people out the way. We need everything to be in order concerning Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. And it's time to move. Let's go.
We've seen the power
Fast begins
of the
Monday, so you
people
have a few days to
when
prepare.
when Rattler Nation is focused and committed. We've seen you raise money in record numbers when you are truly invested. But we're not talking about raising money. We're talking about raising awareness. We're talking about letting leadership know that the standard has been has fallen to the wayside. You know, the standard is no longer being set by the current leadership, and there's some things that need to change. And I hate to say this, but taking away your donation dollars only really hurts the student athletes and the students. And that's what we don't want to do. But we want better, because we are better. We deserve better. We've seen excellence before, and so the opportunity to be better than where we are is there. But nobody is saying anything. Nobody's saying anything. And nobody is demanding that our leadership say anything.
I'm gonna say
Nobody's
you can't say nobody ain't saying anything. There's people
well,
out
I'm
there.
sorry.
I mean,
Yes, there are people. There are people out there, but we need
there's some
our
right stuff going
collective
on.
voices. Right. Let's bring a collective together, and this ain't about NIL and all this stuff. No, let's bring a collective of people of the right mindset that want to see some things change. So we're starting with Dr. Shanta Friday Stroud, and we're saying send an email. Send an email and let her know that we want to know what the status of the athletic director position is. The current status, we're losing time. We're losing time. FAMU's losing money. I would like our interim director, Michael Smith, to make a statement. I mean, you've got the job. You've been there 2 previous times. We would like for him to say something. What's happening? Other concerns that Kofi's brought up, Kelvin, you brought up regarding compliance. If those aren't true, then step up and say they're not true. Speak forth and let us know that the concerns that we're hearing are unsubstantiated or they're incorrect. Whatever. If they are, then how's it going to be resolved? We have to start holding people accountable. 2022, holding people accountable. Ask why. Ask why not.
Why?
That's where we're at right now. So hopefully you guys get behind us and support that. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at O&G Strike Zone. Donate to the show. You can open up the description there on YouTube or Facebook and find a donation link to drop a cup of coffee in the coffers, so that we can continue to keep doing what we are doing here, because we're trying to make FAMU better. Plain and simple. We love it so much, and but we're gonna talk about the real, because that's what we do. What's real is that we have the best baseball program in the SWAC. That's what's real, fellas. We have come from where we had concerns to we have put on a clinic now. As this past weekend, we got a sweep over Alabama State. Matter of fact, I just had a conversation with Coach Vasquez of Alabama State. And yeah, acknowledging that FAMU, which just took 3 off of them and moved into first place, is a legit squad. And we moved now currently to a record of 25-23, 18-6 in the SWAC. And I think 18-6 is even tied for the best record among both the Eastern and Western divisions, if I'm not mistaken. Kelvin, is it not?
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, let's quickly let's get through, talk about what any thoughts and comments on baseball and what they're doing, and then Kofi jump in right after.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this team. I'm glad to see it coming together. And timing is everything. We're getting toward the end of the season. We only have 6 more SWAC contests left, and it was important for me to see us do it when we had to do it. Right, Alabama State was ahead of us. They've beaten us 4 times this year already, and a couple of those losses were pretty big losses, right? So we hadn't done it. We knew what was at stake. First place in the SWAC. Also, we could wrap up a guaranteed invite into the SWAC tournament, which we did. So for the see the players and the coaches make it happen and come out with a sweep of Alabama State, get over 500 overall with our record, basically came from. We at our worst, I think we were about 13, 14 games under 500 early, and to see us just blaze back, uh, and win the way we're winning. We won all kind of games. We won walk off games. We've shut people out several times. We've had offensive explosions. Even in the Alabama State series, we jumped out one day. I think it was Saturday. We was up 5-0, and next thing you know, it was 5-5. We just find ways to win, and that's a sign of a really good team. Good teams, they find ways to win. So now, for me, it's really about finishing the season. We played Jackson State up there for 3. They took 2 or 3 from us down in Tallahassee. That's the last time we lost a SWAC series, by the way. And then we got our rival Bethune at home. So I want us to finish in first place. I want us to finish at above 500 and win the SWAC in baseball regular season. And then I want us to win it in postseason. We don't have any excuses. We got the team. We're hitting. We're pitching. We've got an experienced coach. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
Well,
Kofi.
my word is just to simply finish the drill. We got to finish strong. We got to finish the drill. Obviously, Jackson State took 2 or 3 from us the prior time, so this weekend will not be easy. Jackson State is capable of playing some solid ball, so we're going to have to keep our foot to the pedal and stay focused. We need some hardware on the highest of 7 hills. So Coach Shoup and the squad, let's go ahead and just finish this up and make it happen, man. Let's go.
So the weekend series against Jackson State, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7 p.m. night game. That's 7 Eastern, 6 local time in Jackson, Mississippi. Then Saturday, it's a 4 p.m. Eastern game, 3 Central. And then Sunday, 1 Eastern, noon Central against Jackson State. And then, like you said, then the closing series is against Bethune-Cookman. And so best believe we got payback for Jackson State, and then that big series against Bethune. So big opportunity here. Rattlers currently on an 8-game winning streak, 25-23 overall record, 18-6 in the conference, and so I mean, just a lot to be excited about there. As we jump over to our softball team season ended in Gulfport, Mississippi today. Matter of fact, yesterday in their opening round game against Prairie View in the opening round of the tournament, they lost 4-3, left 9 runners on the base pads in that contest. Pretty much left at least 1 or 2 runners on in pretty much every inning but the first. And so they lost a close ball game. And then, of course, in the first round of the losers bracket, they played Southern University. Southern lost to number 1 overall Bethune-Cookman. And unfortunately, we lost to Southern 13-3. So the season comes to an end for the Lady Rattlers. But I'm optimistic about what we saw. They had I want to make sure I get the names and who were the honorees. I know Christiana Beasley received, I believe, second team all SWAC. And Destiny Cuevas received first team All SWAC. Beasley, as a pitcher, really had a good season, and probably in any other year might have been on the first team, but there's some really outstanding pitchers ahead of her in the SWAC. And so even though she was in the top 10 in several categories, I think those batters, let me see, Christiana, she was tied for second in saves, tied for third in opponent's batting average, tied for fifth in wins, sixth in batters struck out, tied for seventh in hits allowed, eighth in batters struck out, tied for eighth in innings pitched, tied for ninth in doubles allowed, 10th in ERA. And like I said, I mean, the pitchers in front of her outstanding, and so she ended up on the second team. And then Destiny Cuevas was fourth in the conference in at bats, fourth in hits, fifth in doubles, ninth in home runs, and ninth in slugging percentage. So congratulations to Destiny and Christianas. Anything you guys want to add there related to softball?
Yeah, I'll add that I'm interested to see the growth from my coaches from this year to next year, as well as the team. This was their first full season. COVID impacted them last year, so this is our coach' first full season as a head coach, and we had a up and down season. We played competitively, but we lost some games we probably could have won and should have won. But they represented us well. They gave great effort. They were exciting to watch, and like you said, you always want to see growth and improvement. This was year one, so I look forward to the future, and the SWAC is pretty competitive in softball. Like she's alluded to, the MEAC was a little less balanced. The SWAC is balanced. They got athletes on every team pretty much. So you have to bring your A game day in and day out, just like with other sports.
Kofi, you want to add there on softball?
No, I mean, you know what we do. We fight and win whatever the battle be. So, I'm looking forward to, um, us taking softball to another level, man. We do still have the tournament coming up, correct?
Well,
No, the SWAC
softball's
tournament.
in the tournament
That was
right
the
now. The
day.
SWAC tournament is happening
Yeah.
now. It's happening right now.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, we got to finish. We got to make this happen. Obviously, I think we have an opportunity to win the tournament, but you got to play good,
No,
solid
no,
ball all the way
no,
through.
no, no. We just got eliminated from the SWAC tournament.
Oh, well, that sucks then. That sucks. That sucks. Sucks.
Oh, love you, Kofi. Love you, man. Let's let's go to track and field, because track and field, one of the look, track and field, right off of FAMUathletics.com, 13 medals, including 5 gold standard performances by our track and field athletes at the SWAC championships over the past weekend. It should be noted our women's track team finished second overall, which,
yes,
that's pretty impressive. First year in the SWAC, and that was probably in large part, and give me a second, as obviously somebody's reading an announcement. Partly in give credit to Kiara Ivy, who was the pole vault champion on day one. And for Ivy, that gave her the indoor and outdoor pole vault championships in the SWAC. Let's see. Karen Odemani, podium with a third place finish in the hammer with personal record 47.84 meters. And so that was on day one, I believe. Also, Letitia Saunders took silver in the javelin, as well as Mia Hurd. I'm trying to look here what Mia Hurd finished in. If you give me a second here. Hurd. All right. Well, Mia Hurd, unfortunately, I can't find what her event was. But then on the last day of the meet, we had Rachel Robertson sweep the triple jump and the high jump. Jada Harrison finished first place in the 400-meter hurdles. So, overall, the women finished second, just 45.5 points behind Prairie View A&M, who finished first. So, needless to say, the Lady Rattlers are going to be in the hunt, and we'll have to try to get some info out there a little bit later as to how many and which one of our ladies will be competing in the NCAA Nationals. We'll try to get that posted out. I don't know. It looks like May 25th through the 28th. That's when the NCAA East preliminaries begin. So they've got a few weekends before that takes place. So that pretty much is the roundup for baseball, softball, and track and field. Got to make sure we get that in there. So, all right. Any other things? Any other topics? Any other points of emphasis that we need to hit on before we get ready to close out this show? Any other calls to action? We've said a lot. Been a loaded show. Don't want to leave anything out. So,
I'm gonna
Kelvin,
go
how
in a
about you?
totally
Anything?
different direction. Yes,
Oh wow. Okay.
last weekend I was at the Miami Grand Prix. First time being at an event like that, and heard someone call my entire name out, and I was like, "Well, who would know me out here?" And it was some fans of the O&G Strike Zone who peeked me
What?
out, and yeah, who peeked me out way down in Miami, man, in a crowd of other people. And spoke up, and I see one of them is I know one of them is watching now. Tony Matters. Yeah, what's up, Tony? Former classmate, baby Rattler and Rattler. He said
Tony.
he know you too, Brian. Of course he know
Oh,
me and Kofi, but he said he know you from the on the set too.
okay.
But
Okay.
Tony, so Tony and Angela, I appreciate y'all speaking and letting us know you watch the show and you enjoy the show and everything. And I'm glad to see you on the show now, and it was good to see y'all. So shout out, like I promised.
Hey, good to know. See, we got to be on our game now. We're starting to get recognized out here in these streets. Hopefully for the good. Hopefully for the good that we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So, and not for some of these wretched retweets and replies that Kofi be in. But anyway, what else we got, Kofi? What else you want to add? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That's all right.
We just need to we really need to stay focused, man. We need to stay focused. It's a lot going on. It's a lot happening, but we need to really get involved. Everything that I stated, I meant it. Dr. Robinson got to get out the way, and our BOT, if they're not for us, if they're not doing what's in the best interest of FAMU, they need to get out the way. And what's even more important is this is an election year. So we've got to make sure, I don't know how we gonna do it, but somehow, some way, we've got to find a way to turn the state of Florida blue. And because we need some assistance in making sure that the people that are in office and our decision makers are going to do what's in the best interest of FAMU. And if we're not involved, we're leaving the decision makers, or we're putting the power into those that know or even have a love for FAMU. We're giving them the power to make decisions for us. So we got to step up.
You know, where we need to go. That you brought that up a couple of weeks ago or last week about making sure that we start with turning this state blue. We need to start checking our candidates now. I mean, the stuff falling out of people's
I
closets,
mean,
man. I tell you, it's messy,
we're behind
and
the eight
so we
ball.
better.
We're behind the eight ball, and even with all of the stuff that's going on, you know, is this person? My question is this person? Does this person have the capacity to love FAMU, or are they going to serve our best interests? And if they are, then I'm for them. You know, let's get them some additional help and do what we got to do. But we need to do whatever we can to make sure that the people that are in office are going to serve Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University at a very high level.
And you know, it's funny, Kofi, you say that because I get these random text messages from various Democrat people asking me that, but I think I'm gonna start replying back and say, does your candidate love FAMU? Are they willing to
Yeah,
fight
I
for
want to know
FAMU?
what is your plan? How about this? What is your plan for FAMU? What is your plan for FAMU? Where are you gonna take us? Are you gonna try to get us some more dollars? Like, if not, you know, we're gonna talk bad about you and, you know, vote in another direction.
Hey, I just saw Montre Bennett say that Dr. Friday Stroud said there'll be a notice here at the week's end. Hey, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like any meeting regarding this executive committee should be public. I don't know about you. I don't know how realistic that is, but I feel like it needs to be public. I think to some degree there needs to be some transparency in this process. I don't know to what degree that looks like, but I'm Kelvin. You shaking your head. You
Yeah,
agree with that?
yeah. Well, yeah, and we're a state institution, so there's the sunshine law, so there will have to be some transparency. That something would have to be publicly accessible. So
And we need to know when that is, because again, you know, I go back to remember a month or two ago that board of governors meeting when FAMU was supposed to be meeting at the board of governors, and it just happened to be on the agenda, but no one showed up for it. It wasn't on the agenda. Had I not just stumbled across that, I don't think it would have been known. No one would have known about that. This show, we wouldn't have let people know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So anyone out there, yes, it's public, Montre, but I mean, people, I mean, it's not like it's a big bulletin board coming across. When it's found out, we need to make sure that we publicize it to everybody. So whatever that looks like, when we know the date, when we know when these things are happening, let's make sure to spread that within the art community, within what's happening. Okay, Kelvin, you didn't tell me that it was my guy Double OC that you met down there. You said Tony,
I told you.
that
I
you met.
told you.
Well,
Yeah,
what threw me
yeah.
off is you mentioned the last name, and then I'm looking at the last name. I'm like, I don't know that, and then yeah, I do know Double OC though. I do know him. Yes, I know that guy. I don't know who that
I
other
knew
guy
you would.
is. You know, yes, exactly. Yeah, it's good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Thank you for checking in. Call to action, Rattlers. It's up to you now. We can continue to complain, or we can actually request and demand change. What do you want? What do you want to have happen? It's in your hands, Rattler
And
Nation. So that.
let me say this. Let me say this so that you're not overwhelmed with gossip. You can our information request, which is something that we needed to do. I think I mentioned it last week. You need to do an information request, get access to these contracts and access to everything that's going on concerning FAMU, so that when you talk, you can be knowledgeable in terms of what's going on the highest of Seven Hills. It's public record. They're public servants, so they have to release. And they need to know that we mean business. And they need to know that enough of us are involved, and not only involved, but we're informed.
Appreciate you out there, Montre. I see you out there. Hey, spread the news about this show. Let a concerned, caring Rattler know. Let them know about the show. There's plenty of Rattlers out there. A lot of listeners. I mean, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, hit the thumbs up button. Go let people know about this show as we continue to try to break down some of the walls that have been keeping us down for so long. So we need more transparency, and we're gonna find ways. If you want our money, then you got to show us more. You got to tell us more. We need great leadership, not just good. We want great. We want excellence, because we are an excellent university. We are the best university, the #1 public HBCU in the nation. It might be the doggone best public institution in the state of Florida. So I just say that. All right, so that's going to do it for tonight's show. Thanks for everybody for watching. Spread the love about the show. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at O&G Strike Zone. Go download the Jericho Broadcast Network's app, MyJBM, MyBCSN. You can always reach us via email, ONGStrikeZone@gmail.com. The fast begins on Monday, I think Kofi said. So we're going to find something. We're going to find something. 10 days. 10-day fast is coming up. We'll publicize some more information about that here in the upcoming days. But you guys be safe out there, wherever you are, Rattlers, and be steady, be strong. And that's going to do it. Shout out to our producer, Melody Lucas. And for my guys, Kelvin and Kofi, I'm Brian Fulford. Thanks, everybody. Rattlers, let's be strong, and let's continue to strike, and strike again. Peace out.
Keep the faith, Kenya. Keep the
Mel,
faith.
go on the break. Go on the break, Mel. Go on the break. Got a producer back there sleeping. She back.
Carriers will give you just one measly entertainment subscription. One is no fun. With Verizon, there's up to 7 entertainment subscriptions with your unlimited plan. That's 7 times the... 7 times the... No. 7 times the... Music, gaming, Disney+, Hulu, ESPN+, and more. That's 7 times the entertainment! Because every...